In this video today, we'll be looking at how to apply a dimension to your subject of a portrait inside of Affinity by using the dodge and burn method with the help of this new tone brush tool. So if you want to follow along with this tutorial, you know what to do. The links for the images are in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit the subscribe button for more helpful tips and tricks related to Affinity. Now with that said, let's get started with the video. So to explain you the basic concept that we are going to apply here, first of all, we have a circle in the canvas and we'll make a selection out of the circle. And in order to make the selection, we'll simply hold down the command key first and then click on the thumbnail icon of the circle layer within the layers panel. So right after we do that, you'll see that a new selection has been created out of the circle that you see on the canvas. Now we'll select the new tone brush tool, and in order to select the new tone brush tool, we can simply navigate to the left inside of the toolbar panel right here and simply click and hold the adjustment brush tool. So right after we do that, you'll see that we have several options inside of this panel. Now let us select the tone brush tool, which is actually the new tool that has recently been rolled out in Affinity version 3.1. Now after selecting the tone brush tool, make sure that you have these settings at the top. Especially make sure that the method that you are selecting right here is dodge and burn, since we are going to apply the dimension to our image of a subject using the dodge and burn method. And next, make sure that the blend mode is set to normal, and similarly also make sure that you are targeting the full range of colors, and the option for creating the layer should be parent for now. And after making sure you have these settings at the top contextual bar for the new tone brush tool, now let us first increase the size of the tone brush tool. And to increase the size of the brush, first of all, we'll use the shortcut key of Ctrl plus Option and then simply click and drag to the right like so in the size of the brush. By the way, I'm using the Wacom tablet here, which is making the movement of the cursor very much smoother, and I often use this tablet in my workflow. And if you want to grab it for your workflow too, then you can find the link for the tablet in the description. Now you can see that by default, our tone brush tool is currently in the dodge mode. That is, whenever we apply the tone brush tool anywhere inside of the selection, it will apply the dodge effect, which you can see is visible with the whites inside of the tone brush tool. And similarly, in contrast to the dodge effect, if you want to apply the burn effect, then all you can do is hold down the command key in your keyboard if you're using Mac and control key in your keyboard if you're using Windows in order to change your mode to burn mode. And whenever this applies to your selection, then it applies the burn effect to your selection. Now, first of all, we are simply applying the dodge effect to our selection inside of the selection here. So for that, I'll simply leave the command key and now I'll just click and brush over the edges of the sphere like so to add those extra layer of dimension as you can see here. Now, the next thing that you can also check right here is simply right click anywhere inside of your canvas and make sure that you are selecting the round soft brush tool inside of the brush settings. And similarly, we can also click on the soft round brush settings icon right here and call the brush settings, which has more of the settings compared to our normal brush settings. And inside of it, we can also control the spacing, which by default sometimes gives a problem. So by default, you might see that the spacing will have gaps between them, which might create a problem. So in that case, you can simply click and then decrease the spacing in order to make the brush effect much more smoother. So I'll set the value to 4% or maybe all the way to 1 for now, and then simply close the brush settings. And after applying the new spacing settings here to our brush settings of tone brush tool, now the next thing we can do is again adjust the size of the brush. So in order to adjust the size of the brush, I'll again use the shortcut key of Control plus Option here and then simply click and drag to the right to slowly increase the size of the brush to this particular size. You can select any of the size that you prefer right now. Next, I'll simply hold down the Command key, and this time, however, I'll apply the burn effect in contrast to our dodge effect. So in order to apply the burn effect, by holding down the Command key in the keyboard actively, and if you're using Windows, you can hold down the Control key in your keyboard actively. We can simply click and brush over at the edges like so, right here. And after brushing in at the edges, we can again refine those brush effects by simply holding down the Command key and brushing over the edges like so. And I'll simply go with this for now. And right now, after applying those burn effect, we can again go ahead and apply the dodge effect as well. However, for now, I'll simply hold down the Command key again and turn everything dark by applying the burn effect right here. So I'll simply turn everything dark here, and next I'll simply apply the dodge effect by simply clicking right here somewhere at this point and then brushing over this stroke like so. Now you can see that it has applied a good dodge and burn effect. Now if we simply change the blend mode to somewhere at overlay, you'll notice that there has been a certain dimension applied to our circle shape. So I'll simply deselect the selection for now by using the shortcut key of Command plus D. And now if I toggle the visibility of the dodge and burn tone layer that you see on the layers panel right here, now this was the before when the circle had the flat colors in it, and this now is the after, where there is a certain level of dimension inside of our circle shape. So this is the basic concept that we are going to apply here within our subject to apply a certain dimension to make our subject look much more professional. Now, let us switch our document to the next image, and I'll simply click on the image 1 document right here. Here we have a portrait of a subject, and similar to before, first of all, we'll simply select our tone brush tool right here at the left inside from the toolbar panel, and after selecting the tone brush tool, similar to before, I'll simply use the shortcut modifier key of Control plus Option and then simply click and drag to the left like so first of all in order to adjust the size of the brush, and make sure that you also adjust the hardness. And in order to adjust the hardness, you can simply click at the canvas right here and then drag either down in order to increase the hardness levels, or drag all the way to the top in order to decrease the hardness level all the way to 0%. Now after decreasing the hardness level, I'll simply now use the shortcut modifier key of Control plus Option once more and then click and drag in order to adjust the size of the brush once again. After adjusting the size of the brush to our liking, now I'll simply brush over the images, especially in the skin areas of our subject. So for that, I simply click and brush over right here. And by the way, you'll notice that the dodge effect is trespassing outside of our skin. So for that, we can simply use the shortcut key of Command plus Z in order to undo it. And after undoing it, let us again hold down the shortcut modifier key of Control plus Option and then click and drag to the left like so in order to decrease the size of the brush once again, and brush over the areas of the skin inside of our subject like so. Now you can see that we can easily brush over these skin areas. So I'll simply skip to the end after I have completed the brushing of the skin that you see of our subject. And now after applying the dodge effect roughly on top of the skin texture inside of our subject, next, just for organizational purposes, we'll simply double click on the dodge burn tone layer inside of the layers panel and then rename our layer first, and I'll simply type in as dodge. And after typing in as dodge, now let us simply click on the cog icon at the top, which is the blend options icon inside of the layers panel. And after clicking on the cog icon to call the blend options box, now the next thing that we'll be doing here is inside of the underlying composition ranges area within the blend option box, we'll simply click on the leftmost node first and then drag slowly beneath like so. And don't worry about the issues here at the left. It is simply temporary. And now after clicking and dragging the leftmost node below, we can also simply close the blend options first and review how our dodge effect is looking currently. And if you see that few dodge effect are trespassing outside of the skin texture of our subject, then we can simply select the erase tool, and by decreasing the size of the erase tool, we can simply brush over the edges like so in order to get rid of the dodge effect that were trespassing outside of the skin boundary of our subject like so. So we can simply erase outside like so, and after getting rid of those dodge effect that are trespassing outside, we can again go to the top of the layers panel and click on the blend options icon right here. And this time inside of the underlying composition ranges box that you see right here, we'll simply add a new node inside of this axis. So if you're wondering what this underlying composition or ranges does, then it simply allows us to blend our dodge effect with the highlights and shadows in the underlying layer, which is the background layer that you see here inside of the layers panel. So if I now simply click and drag the node below like so, then now you'll notice that it will blend our dodge effect pretty well by removing all of the dodge effect that were overlaying on top of the dark areas of our underlying skin texture of our subject. So if you notice carefully now, then all of the dodge effect that were present inside of the darks areas are now slowly and gradually moving towards only the white areas. So this is what basically the underlying composition ranges does inside of the blend options box. So make sure that your axis is currently in this particular positioning. And now after we have set it up, we'll simply close the blend options box in order to commit. Now the next thing that we'll do is simply toggle the visibility of the dodge layer off first of all, and by holding down the command key, we'll simply click on the thumbnail icon of the dodge layer. However, nothing is happening. That is because we need to turn the visibility option on, and this time again I'll simply hold down the command key, and if you're using Windows, you can hold down the control key and simply left click on the thumbnail icon of the dodge layer, and this will make the selection in the areas where we have applied the dodge effect. Now I'll simply turn the visibility icon off now, and this time I'll again select the tone brush tool, and with the tone brush selected, I'll simply hold down the command option, and if you're using Windows, you can hold down the control option in order to change the mode of the tone brush tool from dodge to burn. Now if we applied the burn effect right here, you'll see that the burn effect is smoothly being applied by restricting it inside only to the skin tones of our subject. So we can simply brush over like so, and after brushing over on top of the skin tones of our subject, I simply use the shortcut key of Command plus D in order to deselect the selection. Now the next thing that we'll do is simply rename our Dutch burn tone layer once again by double clicking here just for the organizational purposes, and we'll rename it to burn. So after we have applied the burn effect on top of the skin tones of our subject, this time similar to before, we'll simply click on the cog icon right here. So after clicking on the cog icon, what we can do here now is inside of the underlying composition ranges box on the rightmost node, we can simply click on this node and then drop below like so. And now you can notice that all of the highlights beneath the burn layer, which is inside of our subject skin tones, are starting to pop out and be visible. So now similarly, what we can do in order to make the transition from the highlight areas of the skin tones to the dark areas of the skin tones for our burn effect is we can simply click on this axis in order to add a new node, and then simply click and drag this node below like so, slowly and gradually. And now you'll notice that it is making a beautiful transitions by simply removing all the burn effect from the highlights of the skin tones to the dark areas of the underlying shadow areas of our subject. Now, if we look closely, then the transition here are also very smooth and natural. Now, what we can do next is we can simply close the blend option box next in order to commit. And first of all, the next thing that we'll do is simply toggle the visibility of the dodge layer once again, and By selecting the dodge layer, we'll simply change the blend mode to screen first, and after changing the blend mode to screen from the dodge, we can again select the burn layer and change the blend mode to multiply. So what these two blend mode does is, the blend mode of multiply will remove everything that are whites and only retain the dark color tones, and the blend mode of screen removes everything that are dark or blacks and only retain the color tones that are white. So for burn, we are selecting the blend mode of multiply, and for dodge, we are selecting the blend mode of screen. Now the next thing that we'll do is simply hold down the shift modifier key and then select both dodge and burn layers and group them together by using the shortcut key of Command plus G. And if you're using Windows, you can use the shortcut key of Control plus G in order to group them. And for organizational purposes, we'll simply double click here on this text and then rename it as dodge and burn. And after renaming them as dodge and burn, the next thing that we'll do is simply decrease the opacity value to make the dimension much more realistic and natural, therefore giving a more professional touch. So I'll simply click here in the opacity text or label that you see here inside of the layers panel and drag it on the left like so in order to decrease the opacity. So I'll set the opacity value to somewhere at 27% that you see here, and this has applied a very natural and persistent dimension to our subject. Now in order to check the before and after, so this was the before when there was no dimension to our subject, and this is after we have applied the dimension. So I hope you get the concept here of how to apply the dimensions to any of our subject inside of Affinity. Now, if you understood the core concept of this video, then please hit the like button. And for more helpful tips and tricks related to Affinity, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next video.